I feel like cone heads. Remember cone heads? They had sex like this. Anyway, I am getting ready for a Zoom call. Today is December 8th. I am seriously on the job hunt. So right now, your girl got to do what she got to do. All right, so I am coming off of this beautiful high of finding a job, having a temporary job that I absolutely love, but of course, it was temporary. It was temporary. Um, so now I have to find something long term. Woo! Yeah, honey. So I have to find something long term now, and because that's what it takes. That is what it takes, and I wish I would have been a little bit more privy to that before. You know, at first I don't know. You know what? I don't even want to talk about the past. Let's leave the past in the past. And maybe when I have a clearer mind, I can have that conversation of, you know, what I thought versus what I think now. But what I know now is that, you know, definitely got to get a job to pay for the lifestyle. I will tell you that I've gotten a lot smarter in terms of how to manage my money, how to manage my time. So hopefully that newfound knowledge will serve me well. But that's a different convo for a different day. So, you know, everything is virtual. And I have a virtual meeting. But here's the thing. It's like for this closer position that I don't necessarily remember signing up for. I'm like, closer position? I don't remember that. So, I have about a good 20 minutes. Usually I like to be up and already Adams, but I've gotten into a space where I just been relaxing, having a good time, and not getting up so early. So now we have to change that. And the first thing we got to do here, honey, is get this hair together. This hair, honey. But I've been doing a really good job with keeping it moisturized. I know it don't look like it now, but I really have been. Oh, and it itches. Take this oil here. This is my rosemary, tea tree. I got a little bit of castor oil up in there. And honey, when I say that helps with the itching, oh, but now I'm like, how am I supposed to get through this wolf gang? This is sirs. Oh my gosh. And I'm honestly just going to put it in a ponytail. So, my plan today is to finish editing my video. I want to get back into social media. Get that on and cracking and popping. Especially for my YouTube, because I want to keep my channel going and active. These are things that I still love to do, so I just want to make sure that I'm still keeping focus on what I love to do, you know? And that's one of the hardest things I've found, because I thought I was going to be able to still maintain like a social media presence while working, and that didn't work out. I got so into working, but I was recording. So it's funny because I love to record, but I think just the opposite part of that is like, I don't know whether to say opposite, but the other end of that is editing the videos and getting them up. And, you know, I just didn't allow for enough time to do that. And that's another reason why. Oh, shit. Not for nothing, I want to get into a position that I'm comfortable with doing, that I don't have to think too much into. So once I'm off from work, I can just go into my second job, okay? And that'll be more along the lines of things that I love to do in the performing arts field. So My plan now, the next step for me now is to get into a job that I'm thinking remote. Since I'm not working, if I can find a remote position, do the remote job, work here. Now, I don't want to do that forever, but at least for right now, I don't have to worry about commuting. I don't have to worry about spending extra money while I'm out in the streets, because that's exactly what happens. Although I did not mind working remotely when I was doing it for the temporary position a couple of months ago, which was actually last month. Last month I was working here in the city in Philly, and didn't mind that. It was very nice going down into the city and working and meeting new people. So I don't mind it if it's close by. But a lot of times these jobs, you know, they're far away. Obviously, everybody is looking for a job here in the city. You know what I'm saying? So it's hard to find a job, I feel like, in the city. This just came to me the other day. I'm like, girl, why didn't you think about this before? I was like, oh yeah, because I got a little bit cute because I was working in the city. So I was like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna find me another position here in the city, and then yeah, child, that's what I'm gonna do. And then I was like, Treva, I think everybody's vying to be in the city. So if you are, you know, of course, this is competitive now because you got other people who want to naturally be somewhere close by in the city where, yeah, it only takes them 15 minutes to get to work. And yeah, you got all of the transportation to get there. But honestly, it's much easier to find a position and to get hired quickly when you go further out, because a lot of people can't or don't want to travel. I'm kind of both, you know. When I was driving, didn't mind, but man, oh man, when you're not driving, I'm realizing now, like, spending so much money with traveling, spending so much time traveling is such a bummer. So, you know, yeah, certainly you do what you have to do it. Don't make it as an excuse like, oh, you're not going to do something because you got to travel. Do it. I'm all about that life. I will fucking do it. But if I have I want to go with my best options here. So with that being said, I'm thinking work remotely. You don't have to worry about travel time. You cut down on that because time is very important. Now that I'm older, I am valuing time in a way in which I've never valued time before. You know, the older that you get, time is so fickle. It's extremely quick. It's not the way that it used to be. You know what I mean? When you were younger, it seemed like you had all the time in the world because I guess essentially you do. The more you get older, you start to feel like, oh my God, it's just, Father time ain't no joke. Father time gets younger the older you get. How about that? So I value my time, and I realize that time is just so valuable in and of itself. And then my personal time I value. So I like the fact that, you know, working remotely cuts down on a lot of travel time, a lot of preparation time, getting yourself ready to get out the door, to get to travel, to get to the location, and then you work and then you come back. A lot of times, just with preparation and traveling alone, you can spend like 2 hours, bro, a day. 2 hours. What am I saying? 4 hours. You figure an hour to get yourself together, an hour to get there, an hour to get back. You know, that's 4 hours a day. In addition to working 8 to 12 hours, depending on what you do. So, you know, and then don't find friends where you kind of like hanging out and stuff. So it can be a little bit challenging. You have to be vigilant and stay aware of the time that you spend, you know. So get a remote job, work from home, right? That's my thought process right now. And then, you know, I'll be able to log out easily once I've logged out of my job, I can log into social media or log, not social media, but log into, is this a lot of hair? Log into or tap into the other parts of me, the more favorable parts, you know. So that editing bit gets on my nerves. Okay. So that is what I'm putting out into the universe now. That's what I'm actually working on now. So with that being said, there's this job. All right, I gotta watch out for the time. I got just a couple of minutes here. But yeah, with that being said, there is a job that I applied to. I don't remember applying to this one though. And that's the problem with getting back into job searching. It's like you're faced with all of these freaking scams and people who are just so misleading. They'll put up a post for customer service or for benefits or something like that. And then when you finally talk to them, they're like, yeah, it's a sales position. It's selling an obscure product or being, it's like, dude, give me a break. So I think this is one of those. So I'm just going to put my hair in a quick ponytail, plaster it down, get me some coffee. I'm going to go get the link and sit in front of the computer. And I don't know if I'm going to change my shirt. But I'm just like, oh, this better not be any bull donkey. That is it's one of the most craziest things. But I'm like, you know what? Worst come to worst case scenario, I have something set up for tomorrow because I have a little bit of funds that is not going to last me at all. So I am going to, it's the holiday season right now. It's a great time to get a position at like a retail space, stocking, doing cashier's work, doing anything, you know. So you do what you have to. Where's that thing? I don't know where it is. But the point is, you know what? You do what you have to. You do what you have to do, get it done, get in there, and then, you know, you don't stop looking for the ideal position, but just to get some income, you gotta do what you have to do. All right, so I'm going to put on some lip balm, sit at my desk, get some coffee. Let's go and get some coffee. I think I'll just leave this shirt on, I guess. I don't know. Should I change my shirt? Should I not? Okay. I have 5 minutes. Put on some lip balm. Let me get me some coffee. All right, I am running late for this thing. And this is fuzzy. Why is it fuzzy? Okay, let's open up the window here. Oh, so I rearranged my desk. It's so great. I have to, I rearranged my studio. So I will show that later. But let me get this together. Oh my God, it's 8:57. See that? 8:57. Okay. Oh, come on, Treva. Okay, here we go. I'm going to just do this from my laptop here right now. This shirt looks so big and goofy, but it's a man's shirt. But I'd be styling it. Let me see. Let's find this link, child. Oh, come on, girl. All right. Oh, here's the link. Oh, gosh. Higher stepping. Oh, here it is. Okay, so let me. Oh, child. How did I get here? Okay, I was trying to take off, because I keep this over my Jeepers Creepers. Oh, you know what? Oh, look, 32 seconds, 30 seconds. I made it on time. But see, the thing is, I don't know if the audio can pick up on my laptop. But I do have earphones. Oh, okay, just in case. 1 second.
Awesome. I can see that everybody's hopping on for today's overview for the remote closer precision, so that's great. I need you guys to do me a quick favor, okay? Those of you who are already logged in, please send a quick message on the chat, just so that I know that you guys can hear me and see me okay. All right, awesome. Thank you, Jamie. Thank you, Isabel. All right, Devin, that's what's up. My man Marcus, how you doing? Perfect. Thank you, Alex. Thank you, Desmond. All right, sounds like you guys can hear me and see me. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is, I've been one of the hiring directors here for several years now, okay? I want to take a moment to explain what our job here is, okay, and the purpose, of course, of today's meeting. So, we were hired by our client to help them grow their organization, okay? So my job as a hiring director is to take a large pool of job applicants like yourself, and I have to just whittle it down to, a group of candidates who we feel are going to be the best possible fit for the position, all right? Unfortunately, I can't really do a good job of that unless you guys know more about the company and the position that you guys will be interviewing for. So today is really about you guys, all right? We're going to have some fun. What I'm going to do is I'm going to cover a little bit more about the company, the job details, as far as what's expected of you and what your responsibilities would be, okay? I want to really be mindful of you guys' time. So all in all, this should take about 15, 20 minutes. And again, I'll cover the pay. I'll cover what your schedule would be, what your day-to-day would be, and of course, what your job responsibilities would be as well. All right? Ladies and gentlemen, at the end of today's meeting, I'm going to have you all complete an assessment. This assessment I will use to further qualify people and find out who's really a good fit for this opportunity with our clients, all right? So before we dive in, I just want to make something really clear. Ladies and gentlemen, whether or not you have experience in sales or account management, that doesn't matter to us nearly as much as how you approach this opportunity, all right? And I say it that way because we've seen people from customer service field, sales, healthcare, education, even construction come into our industry and absolutely thrive here, all right? So what we do is we look closely at the answers that you submit on your assessment. So that's what helps us determine if you're someone we want to move forward with in the interview process. Now, with that being said, if you don't submit your assessment, obviously we have no way of contacting you to invite you back for the next steps, okay? Cool, all right, looks like everybody's connected. All right, so we're gonna get started. And since I have a lot of people on here today, and so I can stay focused and be respectful of you guys' time, I'm gonna have my admin turn off the chat for now, okay? All right, so ladies and gentlemen, let's get started talking a little bit about the company, okay? So what you are what I'm going to be doing is, based on the state that you guys live in, okay, you're going to be placed with a team that's part of a subdivision under the parent company. So what I'm going to focus on today is the parent company, because it'll be the same for all of you, regardless of the state that you guys live in. Okay, the parent company is called Globe Life. Globe has been around since the 1900s. It's the only company with over $227 billion of coverage in force. Ladies and gentlemen, Globe has over 16 million policyholders as of last year. It's a Fortune 500 company, member of the S&P 500. It's also a publicly traded company in the New York Stock Exchange. So if you want to find out further information on the financial strength of the company, just type in the ticker symbol GL, and you'll find out about how financially strong Globe is. Globe is also the official life insurance company of the Dallas Cowboys a couple of years ago. Okay. Just so you know, a little piece of information, the Texas Rangers play in Globe Life's field. It's actually named Globe Life Field. So, Globe has the naming rights. They actually built the stadium for them a couple of years ago. Just so you guys know a little bit of fun facts on how strong the company is, and obviously their involvement in the sports community. Okay? Now, there is a subdivision within Globe that specifically handles benefits for unions, credit unions, associations, and veterans. All right? So some of the examples of the people that you guys are going to be working with are union workers, carpenters, steel workers, nurses, bus drivers, police officers, firefighters, engineers, welders. You guys get the point, right? Pretty much the blue collar population. Okay. The company has contracts with over 20 to 25,000 different organizations internationally. Okay, so that's about 14 million clients or so, which is why they need you. All right. Globe has a very large public relations team and a massive lead department. So you guys, the sales force, never have to search for, find, or purchase your own leads or your own clients, which, ladies and gentlemen, it's unheard of in the insurance industry. Okay. In fact, it's very rare in any sales organization. Okay. So I want to take a second to be very clear here. All right. These are warm clients. There's absolutely zero cold calling, no prospecting. You're not begging your friends and families for name and numbers, or you're not going door to door. Okay, the process is really simple, as you see it on my screen. All right, we have a PR. The Globe has a PR team. They meet with the union executives. Okay, so that could be the president of the union, the president of the association, credit union, or whatever. They're going to meet with them, and they're going to explain to them what we can offer to other members. Okay, so essentially.
Okay. So I'm done with the meeting. That was really quick. It was about 15, 20 minutes. Once I really started to get into it, I was like, you know what, let me turn this off. Let me go ahead and turn this off so I can focus. Because I realized I was starting to focus a little bit. I said, oh, I think I like this. But basically, so here's the thing. Okay. I've always been really afraid of sales, and I've always hated these types of positions. And even back in the day, right, when I was much younger, out here trying to get into the work field after high school, there were so many of these jobs just that start off like that, but it was always jobs about sales. So anyone, whether you are qualified or not qualified, educated or not educated, if you have the gift of gab, if you're willing to learn the ropes, people are willing to teach you, because in sales, you can, do amazing things. You can go from 0 to 100 real quick if you're dedicated and you're motivated. So I've never been motivated in that way. I've always been extremely comfortable with just give me a job, let me do the job, give me a paycheck, a reliable source of income, call it a life. I've never been interested in and having to be a slickster and a carpetbagger or anything like that. I've never, ever. So that's always kind of scared me in a way, because I never felt that I was comfortable in that space. The reason that I started to listen and kind of zone in a little bit more was because I've been doing or working in health insurance. The last job where I was for about almost a decade was in health and a health field. Funny enough, so I was a benefits counselor a couple of months ago. So the last client that I had was here in Philadelphia, which was great. Okay. And one thing that I've learned about myself is that I'm extremely passionate, which I've kind of always known that. But once I really get zoned in on something, I'm phenomenal, darling. Absolutely fabulous there. And that's with anything. And I think that most people are the same way. They have to find that thing that kind of sparks them a bit, like the fire under their ass to get them to go. But I realized that I like benefits. I love talking about benefits. I love educating people on their benefit package. And primarily, that's what I've been doing. I've been working for a boutique firm that employs us to educate the employees about the benefit package that their employers provide. And so many of us have benefit packages through these employer groups, and we have no idea what they're for. We have no idea how to utilize them. Nothing, even down to the rudimentary health insurance. You're just like, oh, what's a deductible? And people get screwed all the time because of that lack of knowledge. So I appreciate, especially for people who are similar to me in my position, with not being, I'm self-educated, but not having a college degree, not coming from a family with a ton of money, not having an inheritance, and understanding savings and all this hoopla, okay? And so that really did become a passion of mine. That's why I stayed so long at that job. And honestly, I feel like the reason that I left is because of burnout. And then I also felt like I wasn't fully living in my purpose. There was a part of me that was purposeful, but not truly, wholly living in my purpose. You know what I'm saying? Especially because I have a strong connection and background with the performing arts. And I mean, there's a piece of that I use to be good at my job, but it wasn't, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't fully, I wasn't singing, dancing, and being comedic and doing all of the creative things and being performative. You are performative in a sense, but you're very constricted. You feel what I'm saying? So, in doing this work, so many people would thank me all the time. So much so, my coworkers that I sat around, because it was a call center environment, so the coworkers that I sat around will overhear me sometimes end the conversation with "I love you," and I never forget one of the coworkers goes, "Did I just hear you say you love somebody?" And I said, "Yeah." Well, they said they love me, so you got to tell. If somebody say they love me, I'm gonna say I love you back. I'm not going to be like, oh my God, I don't know you, I don't love you. No, I love you too, right? And people would say that to me because they just felt this overwhelming feeling of gratitude because I was able to help them understand something that they probably had a very tough time understanding for so long. And I know what that feels like. I totally get that. So could you imagine you take that sort of passion, that sort of understanding and education, and also my ability to learn things. That's really what excited me the most, was like, oh girl, who is this girl now? Because I used to have a hard time with comprehending information. I could read something and wouldn't remember or know what I read. I could hear something, wouldn't remember or know what I heard. Not enough to regurgitate it, you know what I mean? But now I'm in a space where my mind has expanded so much over the years, and through active learning and a whole bunch of different things, learning how to focus my brain, I can retain information now, and it feels so good, and I can retain it in a way where I can explain it, and I can explain it to people who are like me. Sometimes you got to look out for the cookout, boo. So with that being said, I'm like, if I take that same energy, expertise, and the subject matter and work for a company that allows me to do light selling, I'll say light selling, because this is light selling because you already have the leads, you already have everything. All they need you to do is call these leads and close them on the idea. So they've already been presented with the insurance idea. Your goal is to call them explain the insurance, explain how how the insurance can help them, help their family, managing their risks. That's what it boils down to. And essentially get the sale. Essentially get the sale. So I was like, okay, wait a minute. Because at first, I took off my shirt. You saw me take off my shirt. I took off my shirt. I was about to say, oh, I'm done. Click out. But something said, no, hold on now. Sometimes you got to wait. We be too ready to say fuck it. Sometimes you got to wait. Come on, somebody. You know. And I was like, let me just hear it out. 15, 20 minutes. I got 15, 20 minutes. I ain't working. I ain't going nowhere. I got 15, 20 minutes. And so I was listening. And I could instantly see, especially when he said, okay, this is how it works. I'm like, oh, I could do that. Now, here's another thing, too. I've been watching a lot of these YouTube videos, and I've also been discovering different type of business aspects, understanding marketing, digital media, social media. And one of the things that I've been hearing constantly is getting comfortable with selling. If you are comfortable with selling, you can soar in your personal life. You can soar in your professional life, because everything is about selling, which ultimately means you just need to be persuasive in some way. Okay? Well, I've always had a hard time with that because I've never felt like I could be persuasive. Even down to dating. I'm not going to persuade you to like me or do what I want you to do. Even with friendships, I'm a fuck it kind of girl. But I am now a woman. As a woman. And I have to shift that perspective. So if I could get into a sales role, and this is why I'm saying that, if I could get into a sales role, something that I've always ran away from, I think I would soar. I think I would do well. And the idea is to definitely be comfortable in my lifestyle and be able to kind of do the things that I want to do. So they have like a little baby form that you can fill out. I filled that out, sent it in. The only thing is, now here's how things come full circle too, because here's the other piece of it. The other piece of it is you have to be licensed. You have to get your life and health license. The thing is, Ron, my brother, when I was doing the position, the benefit counselor position with this last company that I was just with last month, he sent me a text suggesting that I get licensed. And I thought that was a great idea because I was feeling like, how can I take this to the next level? All my years of working, I never thought about taking things to the next level. Didn't. There was times when I did, but there was definitely times when I just was like, I guess I just do this, I don't know. Just trying to figure it all out. And now that I'm sitting here, I'm like, jobs are great, but we get really too complacent in those positions. We don't ever think about like, let me take it a little bit further. You know what I'm saying? So I looked into it, and it is like a couple of $100, and then you have to take a state exam. But having those licenses can definitely open up a new world for you. So funny enough, I think I just said this, but just in case if I didn't. But funny enough, with this, he was like, you have to get licensed. That's the only thing in order to do the job. Now, they don't pay for it, unfortunately, but they will. They said that they do have like some, I don't know, discounts, coupons, something. So we'll see what they're talking about. I'm not in a position at this very, very moment to pay for the course, because they're like, you can get your license in like a week. And my brother actually got his license in about a week or two. So it is a rather quick process. It's not like it takes 18,000 days. So I'm thinking about like, I still need to go and get locked in at a position, and then get the funds, get the licensing, and then with this, it's 2 weeks training. So you're banking on pretty much giving yourself a full month before you're able to really get started and see any income. Now, they say on average, people who are disciplined and really focused, they can get on average 3 sales per day. And was it 3 a day or 3 a week? That part I forgot. Pero it puts you the way that their payout is. So they pay out weekly. So it has to be like 3 a day, I think, because they pay out weekly, and weekly wounds up being about $68,000 annually. Not bad. So we'll see, but still in the market for a job, and then that'll probably be my next step. I like that idea. I do. And then I like the fact that it's remote too. You do all of this stuff from home. So the closing position is at home. It's working, you're here at my desk, closing out. All right, so I think I have something else coming up today. I'm gonna look at my calendar, and then I gotta get back into editing this video for my social medias and get back into social media, because I need to be able to do both of this stuff at the same time. Social media, it's, lo and behold, it really is about sales. Whether you want to admit it or not, that's what it's about. You know what I mean? It's a popularity contest. So how are you going to be the most popular? You're going to sell yourself in some way. You're selling an idea. You're selling what you do. You do whatever to get the brand deals, to get the people to click on your video. Like, all of that it really is sales. It really is. So I think I can definitely use the training. This is new to me. This is something that I was always scared to do. And my plan now in life is do the things that scare you. Do the shit that scares you. That's how you stretch yourself. Not too much on your girl. I love to be stretched. Pero you have to stretch yourself. You really do. How else are you going to reach heights that you wouldn't normally be able to reach if you don't stretch yourself to reach it? Think of it like that, So, all right, let's get this done. I holla.